All right, today I'm excited to welcome Drake Wolfe to the show. Drake, thanks for joining me today. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for inviting me on this, Brian. I appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
All right, man. I appreciate you being here, and I looked at your Podmatch profile, and it seems a very interesting story. But on the show, we talk about the journeys to get there, but we want to know where you're at now, what you got going on. So if you could introduce yourself, let the audience know who you are, and then we'll kind of go back and figure out how you got there.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, so my name is Drake Wolfe. I'm 31 years old, and I am an AI architect and entrepreneur. I own a multitude of companies. Most notably, I am known for creating the auto-generative agentic ecosystem, which is a format and structure for fully automating business models. So, super excited about sharing that more with you guys as well.
Nice, nice. So, into AI and running everything, multiple companies. Let's go back to a kid. How was childhood? What did you want to be when you grow up? Were there dreams and aspirations? Was childhood good, bad, and different? Let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, man. Well, childhood was very unique for me. I grew up in foster care from the age of 3 to 18. I actually lived with about eight different families during that time. So traveled around America quite a bit. Got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, unfortunately. But it made me who I am today. And it certainly it was very much a trial by fire situation. So I got to experience, a lot of the things that kids do these days that don't have a stable household. The loneliness, the unstructured situations, the fears and anxieties that come with those things. But man, I was genuinely blessed to be able to. Um, Personally, I'm a man of faith, so I felt guided through this
Okay.
journey significantly, and it actually plays into my adult years as I got out of foster care. But my childhood was pretty tumultuous, and it kind of created a situation where I needed to look at systems and structures that kept me safe, uh, pretty secure, and made sure that I was constantly in a space mentally and physically of safety and structure and security. So I became my own parent essentially, and it, like I said, it was very formative for my later years when I started to build these things.
So before the show, I'm clueless when it comes to foster care, and I did a little searching, and it looks like about 5% of American youth experience foster care at some point. So that's not a whole lot of if you take the listenership, not a lot of people have experienced it. We've all, I think, seen the horror stories and then the angels out there that fostered 30 kids over 10 years. So you experienced the good and the bad there. I mean, were there people that absolutely changed your life for the good and the bad along the way?
Yes, absolutely. I think there was defining moments both on the good and bad side for parents and parental figures. A lot of them we were untraditional. So my first foster family had a profound impact on my life. I actually am still in contact with them. They're the only family that I'm in contact with, and they were actually at my wedding 2 weeks ago. So
Oh,
um,
congratulations, by the
thank you, thank you. Yeah, freshly married. So
way. It's all over.
uh,
It's all downhill now, man. I've had 15
yeah.
years, so
Oh wow, wow, yeah. Well, I'm trying to get to one, so baby steps. Yeah. So absolutely, man. There's definitely ups and downs, highs and lows. And what I'll say is, I learned a lot from both. Um, there's a lot of dark corners of the world, and there's a lot of people that have fallen prey to their mindsets and their patternistic behaviors. And I'm not a believer that anyone is born particularly bad. I believe that everybody has the opportunity and the option to be a good person. But I think that over the years, you know, formative structures become, God in a sense, and people's environments start to play a massive role in their personality traits. So I would say a lot of the bad I experienced, I kind of chalked it up to these people that are treating me incorrectly or treating me badly or my brothers and sisters badly. They have some significant patternistic behaviors that they need to, sort out themselves that have negatively impacted their lives. So it is a bit of a cyclical situation where it's kind of the hamster wheel, hurt people, unfortunately. So there are those, and I think you have two choices in that moment to either feed into that and have the I don't want to say the victim mentality because there's victimization for sure, and that should be acknowledged. But there's also an opportunity for you to grow and learn from that, and say, you know what, I'm not going to be like that when I grow up. If I have kids, I'm going to treat them with kindness and love and care and respect. So yeah, that was the bad side of things. And then the good side of things, absolutely, there was definitely a few people along the way that kind of were a light in the darkness situation where I was able to look at them and go, you know what, I think that's what a what a good man looks like, or what a great woman looks like. This is what it looks like, and their character kind of shone through to me, and I started to really glean that information from everybody. So the Drake that you know now is not a product of a family environment, which most people are. I'm the product of hundreds of people that I've met, and I've kind of picked and plucked their personality traits and became that version of myself over the years. So
You said you were fostered with 8 families, I believe, over about 15 years. How does that process work? Is that the foster parents' decision how long a child stays? Is that the child's decision, or how do you end up placed and then moving so often? I mean, that's an average of less than 2 years with any one particular family.
yeah, it's a significant amount. It's not generally That's not normal. I'm
Okay.
definitely one of the more rare use cases. And how it happens is it's the state. So the
Okay.
state places you with a family, and then they give the foster parents a period of time to decide whether or not you're a good fit for their household. And there are rings to this. So there's ring one, which is usually the most desirable kids, the youth, the youngest kids, the babies, things like that. And then ring two kind of expands outwards when you're in for a few years, you've gone through a few homes, you might have some minor behavioral patterns starting to emerge, and maybe some PTSD or some anxiety or something like that. You become a little more difficult for a family to decide to permanently place.
Right.
And then ring three is unfortunately the undesirables, the misfits, the mentally, physically impaired foster kids, and the ones that have been significantly hurt. So over the years, I started in ring one, and then I just kind of expanded out. And as that happens, the system starts to try to find wherever they can put you. And
Mm.
sometimes that's, coordinating with different states and finding different group homes. So when I say I was with 8 different families, I wasn't actually with eight like traditional families. I would say 5 out of the 8 were actually facilities. So
Okay.
these are like places where you have a bed and a window and caseworkers and staff members and things of that nature, just because they had nowhere to put you.
Uh, I heard you mention multiple states and across the country. That was something I was unfamiliar with. I thought that it was a state by state program where getting transferred out of state would have been foreign to that thinking. So with you mentioning like resources and trying to place different kids, it makes sense that they might reach out to neighboring states or even across the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, I mean, without the continuity there of a long term parenting or role model situation, um, how does that look when you're trying to plan your life? I mean, you don't have someone like you got a kid that's got his parents, single, divorced, whatever, but you have people that are thinking ahead for this child. kind of guiding them to figure out what they want to do with their life. Does that happen in this situation, or is that all on the child?
So that is a great question, and there's a big reason why I created a nonprofit organization around this exact issue. The answer is no. Unfortunately, I think most foster parents individually do try to create a mechanism or a safety net for these kids to fall back on as far as education and experience is concerned. But for the most part, there's no standardized structure. So what happens is a lot of kids that age out of foster care, which is what happened to me, they're kind of left on their own with no resources, no knowledge of really anything, and it's a really difficult way to start life, especially when you've kind of just spent a whole life in not the greatest place.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's very unfortunate, and the numbers actually are staggering. Um, Kids that age out of foster care without any resources, about 10% of them graduate high school, about 1% of them go to college, and less than, I think, 0.2% of them actually graduate out of those 1%. So it's a significantly low number of kids that actually find success beyond foster care because there's no access to prolonged resources.
So that's kind of like the day you turn 18, good luck. Like here, like the day you get out of jail, they hand you your clothes that you went in with, and maybe some things you had in your pocket, and you're like, no, there you go, figure it out. And if that person, that family, or that home that you were in right before 18 hasn't prepared you to walk out the door, that's got to be a scary moment in your life. Like, what do I do now?
Exactly what it was, man. I was 18. It's thank you for saying that. It's a perfect example. It was 2 days after my 18th birthday. My caseworker showed up. He gave me a $200 stipend. I graduated in Pennsylvania from high school. I was blessed to actually graduate from high school, so I did have a high school diploma. But 2 days after my 18th birthday, they came with a $200 stipend and said, "You got to leave. You're now legally an adult. You can't be in the house with minors." And being a ward of the state, having no actual parental figure, I had to follow those laws. So I found myself homeless in a small Polish town in the middle of the Pocono Mountains, and I had a backpack and literally nothing else. So I found myself in a public library, just scouring the internet to try and find resources for myself. Freaked out beyond, recognition. I had to resort to, as much as I hate to say this, to taking food from the local supermarket in order to survive. I did that for about 3 weeks, and then I finally met my first stepping stone of a human that actually showed me what it looks like to be a high quality, loving, caring person. And that was actually the librarian. About 3 weeks into my venture down in the basement, I found this spot where the old books are that I could hide and sleep. And she actually came in one night right before they closed, and she was like, "Hey, it's okay. I'm not going to call the police, but you're going to come and sleep on my couch."
Oh
And
wow.
that was like, yeah, mind blowing, man, mind blowing. Like it was just a big deal for me. I felt relief and comfort. And then over a period of a month and a half, we spent all day, every day focused on finding me opportunities to go to college, maybe some scholarships, clothing, housing, just the bare minimum, the bare necessities. And we actually accomplished that goal. So that was a beautiful time in my life, and because of that, many years later, I created Foster the Future Foundation, which is my nonprofit organization that helps kids that are aging out of foster care acquire food, housing, clothing, educational guidance, and spiritual guidance and community as well. So I want to create a scenario where no kid ages out of foster care without a support system in place.
I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, the fact that you experienced it and had that helping hand has to be just something that you need to give back. And I've talked about this on the show before, as I have kind of adopted a value for value ethos in life, and putting value out there, understanding the value you received, and trying to put that out tenfold is far and beyond powerful. It's fantastic. So um, so was this I'm curious about this librarian. Like, this is a phenomenal act of kindness that this person did. Was this kind of was a pattern for them? Did you know, did they foster kids before? Were they involved in helping people out, or was this kind of, I see this kid and I gotta help?
Yeah, no, they had no pattern before this of doing this. She was just a very, very kind and loving woman. I think that she sensed my fear and I mean, I'm sure I was exuding it. There was no really way to hide it. Um, you're very sheltered in foster care. A lot of the system, most people don't know this, but there are certain rules and regulations. Like I couldn't have a girlfriend. I couldn't have a cell phone. I was only allowed one extracurricular activity, and it had to be approved by the program that I was in. So I was very sheltered from social interactions, and I think she could sense my childlike fear, and she just kind of engaged with me and became a mother-like figure very quickly for me. So no, she had no pattern, that caused her to make this decision. I think it was just a divine intervention thing.
Man, as much as the foster care system is needed, we can't just have orphanages everywhere and big, huge group homes. I just don't think that sounds very helpful. What you just described, the rules, making productive citizens, like adults, I think
Yeah.
would be the focus of the foster care system. But I think these limitations are really. I'm sure there was some bright idea that this was going to be a great rule, but maybe that needs to be re-examined, because I think those things are pretty damaging, like you expressed, and it just leaves kids sheltered and scared shitless with nothing to grasp to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And what you just described is actually something that I'm very passionately pursuing right now. So we're going to start in the state of Tennessee. I've actually met with the leading judge that heads up the state of Tennessee's foster care and youth laws, and we are going to be petitioning the state of Tennessee and then eventually the nation to reform the foster care system. And I'm excited about it. I'm going to be partnering with a lot of different organizations in order to do this. But essentially, we're going to put in place the structures and foundations that needed to be in place long ago. And we need to have these kids, they're already unloved, they already feel unwanted, they already feel undesired. That's already a very difficult thing to deal with. And most of these kids don't have access to psychological help, to any form of spiritual guidance if they see fit, to any form of community. That's a huge one. Their social skills generally are lacking because they are so confined into one particular space and confined. So here's what the goal long term of our program inside of Foster the Future Foundation is. It's called Forever Forward, and we're trying to get these kids by partnering with Children Youth Services all over DCFS, CYS, all over the nation to capture when a child is most likely to age out, 14 to 15, latest 16, get them into our program and start building this relationship and giving them opportunities beyond this and really sharing with them that they're loved, they're wanted, their presence is enjoyed. We're going to be throwing local chapter events for these kids so that they can get out and meet other foster youth and extracurricular activities that they could be involved in. Local colleges and state colleges are going to be opening up fundraising and scholarship opportunities for these kids to just kind of pour into them and show them that, hey, you're not undesired, you're not unloved. There are people that care about you. You were just in a system that was kind of designed to herd you like cattle.
Right.
And we want you to rethink what this structure is now. So we're actually putting stuff together as we speak to kind of, like I said, pitchfork petition, like, hey, this needs to change. And I feel blessed and honored to be able to kind of spearhead that movement. I mean, who better to discuss it than someone that experienced it?
For sure, for sure. And you say like community events and putting these kids together. There's an unspoken bond there. I mean, there has to be. You've experienced it. You've experienced a bunch. You've all experienced different, but you all have that common tie of all those feelings that you were talking about that accumulate over the years. So your librarian friend helped you look in to try to find college opportunity scholarships and those, like, were you able to find them? Were you able to follow through with them and go to school, or what did you pursue from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, I was actually. I was able to find a small private college in Canton, Missouri that was willing to hand me a scholarship. It was a a timeout situation where the scholarship ended up timing out, so it was very difficult for me to continue my education. Um, but I did get the opportunity to go to college, and I was very blessed for that. And that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing as well. So,
Nice,
yes, I,
nice.
I was capable of doing that.
What where did things go from there? Like, you found a helping hand, and you're looking at what you're going to do the rest of your life. You got to go to college and experience that. What path did that lead you down?
Yeah, so I actually started in commercial construction, believe it or not, out in the field, working with my hands. I loved it. I always loved building things. I always loved like systems and structures and design ever since I was little. And so I started building things in the commercial construction world, and very quickly I was recognized as a high talent individual. And so I was given the opportunity, and I had asked as well for my managers, hey, I'll work 80 hours a week. I want to learn everything I can and grow. And very quickly, I rose through the ranks and became, an office manager, then a project manager, and a senior project manager. And then by the age of 25, I was an executive at a $500 million construction company. So, yeah, radically changed my life very quickly.
I would
Um,
say.
yeah, yeah. So my career was just blessed in every sense of the word. I had a very, very unique um, rise, I guess you would say, and it was all because of the people that looked at me and saw something in me and gave me an opportunity. So my life is riddled with all those stories. I could spend hours telling you about these wonderful people that have noticed something in me, nurtured it, helped it grow, and eventually helped me succeed and on to the next chapter in my life where I've met the next person. So,
Right. Both in and out of the system, it appears.
absolutely, yes.
What set you down the entrepreneurship path?
That's a funny story, actually. So I had wanted to do it for a very long time, and I had a mentor at the time who was the president of a very large company, and so I had got to see it firsthand what it looks like to successfully be an entrepreneur, and he essentially said, "You need to do this, and I'm gonna kind of push you to do it because I'm gonna fire you in 30 days." And I was like, "What?" I had a very high paying job. I had a partner at the time that was relying on me. So I was like, Okay." And he's like, "Then I'm going to rehire you as a consultant. And
Nice.
so you need to have your business ready by then." And so really it was just, it spawned from an opportunity that I just couldn't possibly be thankful enough for. I created a business consultancy, and I always had, I guess, a unique perspective on things, probably because of foster care.
Right.
And that really helped me have an edge in business. So I was able to come back to the company with a different, fresh lens than the title that I was in at the time. And I was able to kind of assess the entire infrastructure and really help them grow and scale their business. And that's how it happened, man. I then started just word of mouth. I had already kind of been playing with the big boys at this point, so I just started booking a bunch of different clients and getting hired at a bunch of different big companies. And before I knew it, I had an illustrious career in the commercial construction world. And then from there, my passion kind of just shifted from that to technology. I'd always loved it. And that's kind of where it brought me into the AI entrepreneurship space. I'd kind of really enjoyed my time as a consultant slash, commercial construction employee, and then decided that I wanted to pivot from that permanently and take all that knowledge from all these gigantic projects and these massive companies and kind of compile it into a technological world where I could apply this structure and these thoughts to AI.
Right. Yeah, I'm an AI dabbler for sure, for a while, and really as I start to understand it more, The possibilities, all the different genres and niches that you can travel down, it's like endless. And to
Yes.
be able to, I think the key is understanding it as a whole and then applying it to whatever you need to.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it's been for me. It's been an awesome journey. I've been able to start a multitude of structures and companies since then. And yeah, monetizing and different revenue streams in the AI space and being able to help other people take advantage of this amazing revolution that we have in our lives. I mean, we really are in a moment in time in history that people don't really know what's going on right now. They know it's something profound, but I
Some
don't
do,
think,
some understand it, and I think the
yes.
majority of people are just like, oh, it's chat GPT, I can ask it
Yeah.
questions, right?
Yeah, yeah, like it's a Wolf Ram Alpha situation or like something like that where people aren't really thinking way ahead unless you are a tech entrepreneur or just an enthusiast. There are definitely some amazing things that are coming our way, even in the next 12 months.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's accelerating. It seems the more it develops, the quicker it develops. It's that exponential curve, and I think it's self perpetuating with the systems themselves that it's spurring the advancement. So, Drake, we're kind of coming up on time, and I like to give people an opportunity to pitch what they got going on. And this story I think is going to resonate with a lot of people. So I want to give you an opportunity to let them know where they can catch up with you and find out more, or get in touch with you if they want to participate in anything you have going on. So take the floor, man, and let me know where people can find you and what they can expect when they get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm currently rebranding right now, so give me about a week or so. But drakeatlaswolf.com is my personal website. You can find me there, and all of the things that I'm doing there, as well as a very exciting endeavor. This Thursday, I'm actually launching my first book. And that is, yeah, yeah, it's exciting. That it's going to speak a little bit about my background and my past in foster care, but it's mostly going to be educational, and I'm actually going to teach people how to replicate my framework, my auto-generative agentic ecosystem framework. That's what I'm most known for in the AI industry, and so that's something that is going to be really awesome because I'm going to be able to di- deep dive in a 200-page book for you guys exactly how to implement the things I've implemented in my business. Essentially, right now, I'm running a one-man show with about 150 different agents autonomously running my business for me.
Awesome.
Um, and so I've been successful at that, and I want to share it with people. I don't want to gatekeep it. I want people to have access to it. So that'll be in my book. That book is called The Final Business Model, and it's coming out on Thursday.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, thanks, man. And then as far as LinkedIn, Drake Wolfe, you can find me there. You can also get in touch with us at Agentics. That's my AI automation agency. If any of the listeners want to expand on their knowledge or implement any of these structures into their business, find out what automations we have available for you, you can go to goagentics.com. That's agentix.com. And then finally, the most important of all these things, because it's what life is about, my nonprofit organization. If anybody is interested in getting involved or just keeping up with us and seeing what we're doing, we are fully rebranding that right now as well. The website will be launching here shortly, and that is fosteringamerica.org. We've got some really cool stuff coming up, and we're going to be launching nationwide chapters. So if you watch this and you feel like your heart is calling to help with these kids, please reach out to us on fosteringamerica.org, and we would be happy to set you up with what is necessary to start a chapter wherever you are.
Drake, man, what a great conversation. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. And I think any awareness that can be raised for the situation a lot of kids are going through, and you getting out of it and being successful is just it's great. So I appreciate you being here, and hopefully we keep in touch and we catch up soon.
You too, man. Hey, I appreciate you. This has been a great interaction with you, and I would definitely love to do it again, Brian.
Perfect. Thanks, Drake.
Yep, thank you.